So were you a
Thanks for
fan
having
of
me.
Neil Young before you bought his house? I can't recall. Or did you buy the house and become an obligatory fan of Neil Young?
I think you have to be a fan if you live in Neil Young's house. But no, I appreciated his music before, and I kind of, in fact, grown up with it to some degree. So it was a unique coincidence. Once we as we bought the house, there was a small note posted about something on a wall. We read it more carefully when we moved in and realized it was the place Neil had lived while he was going to high school at Calvin. At Calvin.
You and I have spoken before about you being in this iconic house in Winnipeg, but on his 80th birthday, I thought we better check in. How often do people stop by, or over the years have they stopped by because it is, his former childhood home?
Well, I say people do. They're all very respectful. Lots of people show up and get their picture taken in front of the house. It's on the trolley bus tour that goes around in the summers, and they stop in front one or twice, two times a day. But people are great, and it happens often. That we used to say we could tell when a conference was in town because groups of people would suddenly hop out of a cab, get their picture taken in front of the house, and then leave. It's sort of that one of those Winnipeg sites that if you're here, you'd like to take in.
Um, when you think about back in the day, it wasn't just fans stopping by. I guess the most significant moment is something you missed. I always hate bringing this up, but Neil Young stopped by a house and you weren't home.
He did. I guess he was here and he was kind of touring and showing to his partner, his wife, where he grew up and some of the sites. We were out. We got a call from the neighbor saying, "I think Neil Young's standing in your front yard with it looks like Daryl Hannah." And we laughed and said, "That's great," but we're out grocery shopping. It seems we do that every time someone famous stops by. But yeah, so he was here, and I think he was just, a little bit of reminiscing. Came to our house and apparently went off to Crestwood Community Center, then Earl Grey. So he has his own life. We just happen to live in a house that he once lived in. So I would say it's certainly not about me.
Yeah. Now that was in 2019 when you missed Neil Young. Why did you say there we seem to be grocery shopping every time someone famous stops by?
Well, we had and it's probably, gosh, 15, 20 years ago when Bob Dylan stopped by. Same sort of thing. And we were out grocery shopping, came back, and he was standing in front of the house. So we get certainly a variety of people from sort of Dylan and Neil, and I say that like we're personal friends, but we're not. Um, but we had some people were by last week. They were going up to see the polar bears in Churchill from Germany. They stopped by and had their picture taken. And again, it's just those random things when you're in and out. People are standing on the sidewalk. They get the picture of the house in the background. I think everyone kind of remembers their high school years, good,
Yeah,
bad, or indifferent.
for
So it
sure.
kind of resonates with people and probably with others too.
Now that you're saying that about Dylan, I have somewhere in my mind going, "Oh yeah, I forgot," because it was such a great story, but maybe not for you. I don't know if it means you shouldn't grocery shop anymore, John, or what. But
We did not. I have to be honest. I did not realize the interest people had in both of those artists, in their lives, in their background, in the context of how perhaps they developed before they wrote their songs. So I'm a fan too. So I'm appreciative of knowing a little bit of those, and have become more educated by living in the house itself.
tell me a little bit about what your favorite tunes. Obviously, he turns 80 today, and his tunes have they've changed over the years. His music, but he always has that his telltale sound. What is it that draws you to Neil Young?
Well, first, happy birthday to Neil, and to use his own words, long may he run. Um, I think for me, there's a melancholy component. Great guitarist, great rocker, but his lyrics really capture in a couple of lines some intrinsic feelings, and for me, there's a melancholiness to his writing, be it Unknown Legend, Like a Hurricane, even Heart of Gold, Needle and Damage Done. There's a number of those songs that are also quite poignant, and so I think that's what I appreciate about him as a fan.
You're open to the fans stopping by, as you said just this week. Folks, here to see polar bears took time to be outside the house of Neil Young, where you live, and take a pic. Not everyone might feel the same way. Has it ever bothered you? Because I'm just imagining people, getting off the tour bus, as you said, and there they are.
Well, the tour bus slows down more, so it's not sort of this intake. Then they head off. I think they have a schedule. But, we've gotten used to it, and it's not often. And people are great. They have an interest. Uh, they don't bother us. The house is not a museum. We live here, so they're being very respectful about that, and they just have a curiosity about uh, the context around Neil Young and the years he spent in Winnipeg and where he did live. And this is one of the locations. I used to say time's moved on, but keep in context that 35 years ago he lived here for 35 months. But
Yeah.
it's that interest part, as I said, about high school and those developmental years.
Thanks a lot for your time this morning on Neil Young's 80th birthday, John. Thanks for giving us the update.